How much longer will you wait to capitalize in this AI gold rush? I've been in business for over 7 years, have built 2 AI businesses that have made over $500,000 in the last 1.5 years. I've been able to quit my job, travel, and work with 100 plus entrepreneurs from 23 different countries. In this course, I'm going to take you through exactly what I would do if I were starting an AI business from zero. Because 2025 is not over yet and you can still get started. So if you're building AI agents, selling automation services, or want to start your own AI business in 2025, because still not too late, get your notes, coffee, and let's lock in. First, you have to understand how to not go broke. So the first thing you have to understand is what other businesses are doing that we most likely will not be doing. So you see, a lot of businesses have investors, right? And these businesses in the beginning are making like $0, yet they're funded at $10 million valuation, $20 million valuation. Why? These investors give these businesses money. This funds a startup. That startup uses the money to spend heavy in marketing. They hire influencers, they run paid ads, they do a bunch of other things with all these millions of dollars they're getting in funding. Then the people see these ads and users start buying whatever the business is or whatever the app is. This causes revenue to come in. The revenue goes back to the investors, right? All the profits at least. Now, this is something that I have never done in my life, nor do I want you to do, simply because of the fact that having investors is a whole separate battle. Now you have to answer to people. There's a possibility you might get kicked out your own business. There's a lot of extra things you have to deal with that I personally would not want to do, especially as a solopreneur. You want to be your own boss, answer to no one. That's kind of the whole reason that you're probably even doing this in the first place. Let's go through a beginner AI solution example, the chatbot. This is a simple AI assistant you can build with voice flow and deploy on a website to answer customer questions, book calls, order items, bunch of things. One of my very first AI chatbots I sold to the biggest AI YouTuber, Liam Otley. So now that we have our AI chatbot, which offer do we want to go for? See, there's a lot of ways you can price your chatbots or your items, your services, your SaaS. And here's a good example of what I would recommend, but you don't have to follow. So offer 1 is $500 upfront, $80 a month maintenance. Offer 2 is a client pays $900 upfront, and that's it. So one and done solution. In both, you only take like maximum 3 days to build a chatbot. So timing really doesn't matter in this case. It's more about the pricing. By month 5, offer 1 would have collected $900, $500 upfront, and $400 worth of maintenance fees. In month 5, this offer would have still collected the original $900 made from that upfront payment. So while the first 5 months, this will result in more revenue, by month 5, it's equal. Now, what does this mean? By month 12, this offer would have made $560 more profit with a total of $1,460 made. Offer 2 will again still have made only that original $900. Now, if you multiply, this is just with one client. If you multiply this by 10 clients, this will have made a lot more money than this offer. Right? And this is why compounding the monthly maintenance fees on your product is such a big thing, which is why I highly recommend always attaching a monthly maintenance to your AI chatbot, especially if it's being used every single month. Now that you understand this pricing concept, let's build one together. All right, so now we're going to actually create our solution. All right, an AI chatbot that can basically respond to customer questions. It can also appointment set, so actually get the customer to book an appointment or a consultation with the dermatologist. And we got to add what I like to say is a hook, right? Something that can get the attention of the person. So your chatbot is just another AI chatbot, right? It has to be something cool, something unique. Remember our website that we have, right? We are examining the smile, right? We're actually able to examine the smile of someone, and not smile. Actually, another student built like a smile version for orthodontist. Shout out Taran. But we are going to be able to look at someone's face and do a full skin analysis of their face, literally, right? One thing that I do want to change about the website is once our chatbot is created, I'm thinking of condensing this web page to something much more simpler, like this. All right, and this is very common in business, right? Look at this webpage. AI, they have over $100,000 sales and customer service reps to tap of a button, right? This went mega viral and is absolutely amazing. AI is killing it, right? So you can create an account, you can sign up, whatever, right? But the demo is literally just a Vimeo video, and that's it. That's enough to get people to decide to go and get hip with AI. And let's go through their login flow. Spending money for you guys. All right, I want to make sure you guys learn everything. So now we have access to AI. Okay. So now let's see the next, guys. Hey, all right, there's an error. Where's my, see, and you want to make sure your app is not going through stuff like this. Okay, so let's do this again. AI. There's our, all right, so we have a typical dashboard, right? I'm sure you guys have seen dashboards like this all the time. Contacts, empty, list empty, campaigns empty, recordings empty, agents empty. So first thing we're gonna do is new agent. All right, test. And you can add knowledge base, you can choose agent's voice, right? And you can do test calls and basically do what you gotta do. Now it looks like their AI has some bugs, but even though it's not a perfect product, it's made so much money because of how simple it is in terms of onboarding. Like I'm already able to use this, right? So we're doing something very similar. We're gonna have a very simple landing page that the person can just play around with the chat bot. And we will also have, some information where we are pushing the, like adding some things like this where we're talking about the features and why it's beneficial, right, to you as a business owner. But that's down the road. We don't got to worry about that right now. That's just me putting that out there. For now, what we have to do is build our solution. So I already started a little bit. It's going to make an auto chatbot that can respond to customer questions, appointment set, and analyze your face, right? This is an intro. As you run it, we don't need a voice right now. So now the next thing we're gonna say is add another message. And you want to give a chatbot personality, right? What do we want to call our solution? Your for a free consultation. My name is Jeremy and I'm here to assist you for your free consultation. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is two flows, right? Let's delete this. And now we can just add a button, another button. Oh. Say book a free resource schedule free consultation. The other we're going to do is ask, or I have a question. So I want to see how this looks like. Okay. So one thing, the button show before this intro message was done, right? And I don't like that. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna actually separate this. Right, that, put this in there. There you go, nice. So now it should be, always title your blocks so if someone else is looking at your blocks, it's easier to say. Introduction, initial flow decider. But this is the first message, first time the user can decide which flow they want to go down, right? Do they want to go down the free consultation flow or the I have a question flow? See how the buttons don't show up now until the second one, the second message sent? It's way better that way. Okay, cool. Now, we are going to do some, I have a question. This will need like a knowledge base. Obviously, we would need to create one since we don't have a, we don't actually have a clinic, right? To, give a URL for. But let's just pretend here, dermatology clinics near me. Oh, I say in. So pick an area, right? That has money. That isn't too many reviews either. There's students in the mentorship that have been able to create some nice scrapers for Google reviews where you can find businesses in the review count pretty quickly. So this is cool. Let's see. Okay, I like this. Let's go to the website. We'll put this as a knowledge base. So we pretend this is our clinic, and this is what we're gonna give to the chatbot and the knowledge base. Add data source URL. Some general dermatology information. Actually, I'll leave it as just good. Okay, and you don't have to use that chunking strategy. Honestly, most people just leave it optional. Because I'm giving two websites, maybe if you remove any excess HTML or noise within the HTML, it should make it a little easier for the chatbot to be able to parse everything. But I totally understand if that's not the case, right? If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I honestly recommend when you're creating your first chatbot, just do the regular don't set a chunking strategy. Switch to AI models here. Cloud4 Son is good. 4.0 Mini is pretty solid as well. While that's being done, I have a question. So we're gonna do I have a question flow first, right? I don't need any buttons right now here. So we're gonna give it some instructions. Identity. Customer questions. Yeah, don't say chatbot, you're a helpful customer sales rep. You have to respond to customer questions in 3 to 4 sentences. Use a knowledge base to help you. If you we'll keep this for later. Cheerful, welcome attitude. So you always also make sure that you let your chatbot know or your agent know how it should be talking, right? Be cheerful, have a welcoming attitude. You don't want to sound too boring. We get work instructions, right? But for now, this is fine. Also, after you answer a question, ask the customer if they want to, if they have another question, or they want to book an appointment. A free consultation. Your overall goal is to get the customer to book a free consultation. Yeah, we're good. Cool. And that should be good. All right. Oh, we don't need this one. I'll say Dermy customer support. All right. So now again, if no more questions, right? What's gonna happen is we're gonna have, oh my goodness gracious. There's a free consultation step, right? So we're gonna have a message, and this will also loop to here. So we're gonna answer all the questions we need to by the Derby customer support agent. When that's done, we're gonna have it schedule a free consultation. Okay. Another thing we want to do, I just thought about this, remember, is can you examine my screen or examine my, or do a facial, what's it? Do a facial test for free. Right now. Like this will like get people to click, and they'll be like, whoa, wait, what's going on? And this will be our flow, which will be a little more advanced. So again, we're gonna have the user submit a photo, and then we are going to examine their face and any potential condition to generate a report on it, right? So they want to schedule for each consultation. First thing is first, can you tell me your name? Now you can ask these questions within this flow, or you could simply link. Like when they say schedule my free consultation, you can just give them a link to click on. It could be like the dermatologist Calendly link or whatever. Say schedule appointment, right? You can send this exact link to the chatbot, right? So instead of having to do it yourself, because if you do it yourself and then you send this link, the customer's gonna have to go through the exact same flow, saying, my new patient, established patient, no insurance, right? All that. Pick the locations. For this dermatologist group, I guess in particular, there's a bunch of different assistants and whatnot, and because there's multiple locations, so that would be really hard to integrate all at once, especially since you don't know which dermatology clinic you're partnering with. Now, you can say you can edit things, right? So you can integrate with the existing technologies, right? That's one thing you want to always highlight. You can integrate with whatever CRMs they have going, right? But for now, just to show what's possible, we'll collect everything manually, right? We're not actually gonna send them the link, right? We're just gonna collect all the information manually, right? And then we're gonna say, okay, someone will reach out to you shortly. And then the dermatology clinic will reach out to the person, right? That's one way to do it. Or it could just be send the link. This is mainly to get leads, right? The whole idea is this chatbot to get more leads for the patient, for the dermatology clinic. And once they get the emails and numbers of people, they can do whatever they want to do with it. So that's what we're gonna go for. Can you tell me your full name? Oh. So now we capture. Okay. After that, all right, so we set this. Okay. So this is set. Now that we have the setter, so we're setting full name variable to last utterance. Now we can do is nice to meet you. Full name. There you go. can I have your email? And then just copy this block. That's utterance. Now we save their email. And then lastly, we'll do this. Paste this right here. And right here, we're going to say last, you can have your phone number for contact purposes. And then we're going to minimize that. And again, as you already probably know, create variable, user phone, set to last utterance. Done. All right. So say, can you tell me your full name? So we got this. So we have all the different flows now, right? There you go. So we have these flows. We got the full name. We have the number. This is lead capture. It's always good to label your steps, right? You know, nice and neat. This is a lead capture part. Nice. Okay, cool. So now you have information. We can close it up with this. Say, thank you for providing your information. Let me say full name. One of our team members will reach out to you via email and or cell. In the meantime, I highly recommend a free facial health analysis. Let's do that. Facial health analysis. Cool. And now this is going to be a button. I'm good. And there you go. Okay, so we have, I have a question flow, you have the consultation flow. This is the ending. All right. So now the last part, what actually makes everything look cool, right, is going to be us actually adding face capture into our tool. So close up. And this is bullshit, guys. Like AI facial health scanning. We're gonna be sending a photo to GPT, right, and just ask GPT to analyze it, which I guess is an AI algorithm, but this is mainly just mumbo jumbo. Okay. I'll then use my AI facial health scan algorithm for a deep analysis on your facial health. Please submit a photo of yourself. The hell? Okay. Let's go loops back here. All right, so we have closed that loop now. So now the facial scan part. All right, so listen. All right, capture. Hierarchy free from temperature. I swore there's a way to capture a picture. Times like this. How do you do that again? Let's see. I swear that's what I'm doing, right? Hold up. Let's run this. Yes, you can't. Yeah, you can't really submit a photo. I swore you could have sort of submitted a photo before. So let's delete this for now. Okay. So we can, right now you cannot submit a photo. We're gonna figure that out, how to do that, how to get around it. Cause that will be a really cool feature to do. But let's test some of the other things we got going on. Do not need to be asked twice. Only please don't hesitate to ask. That's nice little smile. So you got a nice little smile. We fixed the opening message a bit. Let's run it. Question. See, there you go. Nice and fixed. What services do you offer? If it can't answer this, that means we need to just talk. We need to prompt the agent more to understand more about the clinic, right? I mean, we gave it a link, a URL of a clinic, but that's it. That's all it's going off of, right? Say, I also want to know what locations are you guys in? What is your address? Okay, I think it stopped sharing for some whatever reason, but it answered. I would like to book a free consultation. So right here, it's saying to book a free consultation, easy schedule online or help connect with our booking system. Let me use your booking system. It shouldn't, at this point, it's just on automatic, get them to go to the next flow, right? So I don't like the fact that it's saying this. It's like an infinite loop. Okay, so we need to edit this agent a bit. If a customer expresses interest in booking a consultation, stop asking them if they need more help. Move to the exit immediately. And then put that right there. And run it again. What is your Botox filler. That's a skincare thing, right? So in this case, our knowledge base website probably doesn't have the pricing of the Botox, stuff like that. So yeah, I would like to book a free consultation. I should exit. There you go. Bang. Exited. Holy shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my god. I totally forgot about the capture step. So, make sure you add your capture. Yeah, so right here, yeah, you do that. And this goes right here, yep. You know, that's a big part of it. You gotta capture last utterance. Right, so let's gotta move things a little bit. This is why like having everything organized helps so much. Do this, let me see. Oh. There you go. Now we should be good. Have a nice day. Nice closer. You always want a nice closer, everyone. Let's switch it to end. Okay? Closing message. Okay, so we say entire reply last utterance, full name, say entire reply. Alright, good. So we got the lead capture successful this time. Let's move things back a bit. Then, yeah. Now we go straight to the booking appointment flow. Ritesh Askman. That's not my actual name, guys. I'm just saying. And that's where the chat ends, right? So right now the facial analysis feature is not added, and we have something we have to add. So now we're gonna have to do exactly that. So let's do a few dev. Yeah. We could have you just submit a link to like a photo right? Have like a link to their photo, but that's not gonna be good. Or we can have them submit an Instagram post with their face in it. That could be pretty. That could be pretty cool. I can't lie. Have them submit an Instagram post. That would be sick. And that'd be a cool workaround. So for now, it's how the workaround, and that might even be cooler. I mean, yeah, image upload would be cool too. But saying, yeah, upload an Instagram post, link an Instagram post, and I can do analysis of your face. Like that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, let's try that. Let's do that. So we're gonna pivot. Analyzing your Instagram, judging your beauty based off your Instagram. That's a cool hook, right? From a marketing standpoint. So make like our software can detect facial health issues just from your Instagram, right? Like that's such a cool Gen Z viral modern times concept, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Face. Obviously, manual upload would be better. Like that's just the way it is. But actually, I don't know if it'd be better. In fact, from a marketing standpoint, this is actually pretty cool. Please submit a link to an Instagram post with their face in it. With just your face in it. PS. Okay, so now we can actually take a link. Capture. Okay, that's the link. So now we're going to do a set. Okay, set. We're gonna say, let's say Instagram user face set. Last utterance. Okay, so now how on earth are we actually going to do the whole facial recognition thing, right? So that's where dev comes inside. Now we're gonna use the API, not just any API. We're gonna use the handy dandy OpenAI API request, right? So post, get, whatever, right? Capture response. So we're gonna do a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this part as well. So do so. Okay, actually, I'll move this to my other screen. Alright, so I'm putting my authentication code in. So right now, again, I'm just trying to get my OpenAI API key. So just give me a quick second. Call. Alright, I got the API key copied. So that's good. Now we do this. It's right there. And you kind of want to use one chat for everything when you're doing things like this. But I kind of messed that up just now. But you want to use one chat. Should be a post. Raw JSON. I believe it's like prompt is one of the keys. Okay. Oh, there we go. Link is linking. So I'm please tell you OpenAI to make the API request for me, like all the details of, the text, the way I should prompt, make the prompt, everything. And then write let's say 2-paragraph deep analysis of the person's face. Look at dark circles, skin glow, eye bags, wrinkles. Let's say black spots, pimples, everything in facial beauty. Write a report on the person's face that is in-depth, similar to a dermatology report. That's me. So give me the I should send. All right, so this will do it for me. Use AI as much as you can, everyone. It'll do all the hard work for you. Am I in agent mode? Why taking this long? I'm not in agent mode. Oh, low key. This could be. I got a better way to write this. No. Judge my Instagram. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be tough. Judge how I look on Instagram. That is so cool. This is cool. This is cool. Okay. All right, there you go. And then image URL will be last utterance, or last utterance or user face. Either one's fine, right? Because we're saying the values are the same right here. Cool. All right, perfect. Yeah, capture response. Facial analysis response. And this will be the report. Open AI request. All right. The only thing is, where do I put the API key in? Ah, there it is. See? Headers. Authorization. Bearer. OpenAI key. Holy shit. Bearer. I'm going to delete this key, alright? So if you saw my key just now, I will delete it. So there's absolutely no point of trying to steal my key. I'm just saying. Don't. I will come find you. Content type. App. Alright. And this is a post request because we are sending data. Yep, post endpoint. If you did your request agent, finish week 3, you know, get and post. Big difference. Alright. I'm really excited to see if this works. I am really excited. Judge how I look on Instagram. Okay, let me go on Instagram. Imagine they say, damn boy, you ugly. Yeah, okay. I didn't get shit. Oh, wait, I have to, the object path. What is the object path? Do you have to send message? Please provide another link. Actually, now if it doesn't work, ooh, should I have them do it again? Because you don't want to run it up and then have users submit 30,000 freaking links, and your OpenAI credits are going crazy, right? Because you are getting charged every facial analysis, so just remember that. Yeah, we're good people, I guess. So we're being extra nice. One thing I want to do is, we're going to do this. We're going to say, set calendar. Honestly, hold up. So we're basically gonna keep track of how many times a person sends a link. So here, so we're actually gonna so right in the beginning, we're gonna set this counter to 0. Save that here. And then, remember, we're asking for the link to be updated. So 0, it goes through, it fails, it tries again, so counter is now 1. And then counter is gonna be 2 after. So it fails second time, we'll say here. So condition. So if counter is greater than or equal to 2, turn true. Else, turn false. There. So if it's not greater than 2, do this. This means saying that you haven't tried it twice yet, or you haven't done it more than once. Okay, you do it once, it's 0. Then the next time to be once, and then you can try again. So that's when it's once. You try again when it's 2. So once you try again once, the counter will be 2. That means greater than or equal to 2. So at that point, it's gonna end saying, and then it's gonna say, please try again later. And then remember, you want to have them book an appointment with us too. Book. Free consultation. So it looks like our system has too many users. Maybe we are going a bit viral. And then do you want to book a free consultation in the meantime? We're trying to get them back to book a free consultation. So we're say yes, no. Have a nice day. We say yes. We are going to put them back here. Right? Okay, cool. All right, we now have almost everything. We have everything set up, actually. We just gotta testing. Oh my God. facial test. Then the hook. This is the hook. This is what makes our chatbot stand out and look cool. It's a different color, like. All right. Cool. We are done. Aside from this part. Okay, facial analysis response. Here is the analysis. All right, and that's analysis. What happens next? Now we definitely want to book an appointment. Now we say, book a free consultation. And again, remember, this is the main flow they must go down. This is where we're actually capturing the leads, right? This is the important flow right here. Let's mark that. This is the important flow, the lead capture. Then okay, so to say no, have my stand. I was about to say, should I say something mean like, no, I don't want to prove my health. Like then it's like, oh shit, you know what? Let's do that. Prove my health. Yeah, that'll get them to book. I'll get them to book. Now, depending on your client, your derm client, they might be like, your clinic might be like, hey, I don't want to do all that. That's very mean. So just talk with your client. All right. So we have everything. The only issue is right here. Okay. Can we get a successful response from OpenAI? The request seems like it's working. The request is going through. Here, I should just try it. It's the object path is kind of like off. Oh, I'm so stupid. It says right here. Okay. Appreciate that. Cool. Just in case it's wrong. Is it wrong? No. Okay. Looks like that it's not working. Capture response. All right, let's see. Ah. So we're not, okay, so the API request isn't working. Hold up. Because right now what's going on is it's saying the request, but it's failing. So the request itself is not successful. So now we gotta look at, okay, why isn't it successful? Like, what's going on? Oh my God, I didn't even give a request URL. No wonder. No wonder. All right. There you go. Now we should be good. I don't know why, I just thought it was like default. It would just know. Also for testing purposes, you probably don't want to have to start everything from ground zero. Like not ground zero, but start the flow from the beginning. You have to go through all these extra steps. Like I just need to make sure this request is working, right? So I could very well just start from like right here. It still didn't work. Okay, what's going on? Why isn't it working? No intent model. Okay, API key is definitely correct. Application JSON, the raw data. Image URL is definitely working, right? Alright, so I gotta fix this up. And then after this, yeah, our solution will be done. We'll have like a product that we can actually go and sell as soon as this is fixed up. Now, one thing that we worked on a lead capture flow, right? The lead capture is me just saying hi there, welcome to Germany Clinics, and then letting the user ask a question. Our agent will answer all the questions, and we also ask his name and a phone number, right? And then in the end, we say let's do a facial health analysis. I'm good, thank you, whatever. All right, have a nice day. Let's say do the facial health analysis. This is what we were working on and took some time, right? So I managed to perfect it. Essentially, what's going to be doing is saying, before proceeding, please give me your first name. If you ask for the first name, then we're going to ask for submit a link to an Instagram post that has a close-up of the person's face, right? We're going to perform an AI facial health scan to look at the face and make sure, all is good, right? This is our lead magnet. And then I added a request to the Appify API. And this Appify API is actually pretty solid. And what it does is it can, this is Instagram scraper right here. It can scrape a post and the result, so this is the result I ran today. The result will be this. So it gives you the image, right? As this URL right here. If you look at the JSON, we just have to take out this image. So that's what I do. So thank you for submitting. Please wait 60 seconds. And then you see right here, I send test image IG, which is a URL of the image that was extracted from the Instagram post. So I copy the image to the test image IG variable that I created, and I pass it to an end-to-end flow via a webhook. Now, going to the end-to-end flow, this is the end-to-end flow. Super straightforward. Go to executions. This one succeeded. OpenAI was horrible. GPT was not letting me analyze the image. But Gemini does not care. So Gemini, I was able to use effectively. And so here's a facial analysis. I pass in the image, right? You see right here in the data. There's a URL of the image. I can copy this. This is the image URL. And so here's the facial analysis, looking at your image, and then gives the whole text, the whole breakdown, right? And then sends that back to the agent. And once I get that, I say facial analysis report is ready. And then I add their first name, but I asked them for their email. This is the lead generation. Now we have their name and email. So thank you. I'll send the report to email as well as I share with you right now. So I say the response, and then I said to better understand your health, here, book a free consultation. And it takes them to the consultation link, which right now there is no consultation link that I have, but I can just easily create one and then have a nice day. I should go ahead and just create one. We'll go back to that flow and just say, there you go. You book that link. Have a nice day. And yeah, now when you get the person's first name and email, right, you're going to want to send it to some sort of API. Now this is up to you. Right here, you can add a step, or also even at the end, right, you can just add a step that the user won't see, but it'll just be an action of you sending, use some sort of API and sending all the information, like some post request to maybe the Google Sheets API or whatever, just populating the spreadsheet with the person's phone number, email, and name. Okay. And then you can use a marketing campaign later on to get the user to come in for free consultation if they haven't already. So this is a perfect lead generation agent. Now let's run through it. So you get a full end-to-end test. See, now it's way better. So now we're letting the user know, hey, the agent isn't broken. Just wait 60 seconds. There you go. Facial analysis report is ready. Please provide the best email to send the report to. I give my email. And there you go. There's facial analysis right here. The only very minor observation I have is slight unevenness in texture on your cheek. I don't know what that means. I guess my cheeks are a little rough or something. A nice recommendation. And to understand how to better your facial health so your skin is shining 24/7, book a free consultation with us. So sure, I would love to look even better. And then I can just go ahead and say, and then it takes you to a link, and bang, now I just input the link and I get the lead hops on a call with the clinic, right? Or whatever the booking link is. I use a Calendly in this case. But this is what you call a great lead generation agent, as a great hook, which is an Instagram analysis thing. And now I can add this to a website. I can have users play around with it. I can give it to any dermatologist, right? So it's good job. We create something super cool, but how can we take things to the next level? You see, there's a big trend on YouTube where AI gurus talk about selling end-to-end workflows for profit. Times have changed. Yes, it's still possible to make profit through selling end-to-end workflows, but a bigger opportunity is at hand. There's opportunities for those who want to build real, long-lasting AI businesses. I'm going to walk you through the 0 to 100 framework that I follow to build my 2 AI businesses to multiple 6 figures in profit. We are in a pivotal point in the AI gold rush where 50% of people will go out of business, 30% will experience huge financial losses, 15% will make money just at a slower rate, and only 5% will actually be able to scale their AI business. See, for the past 5 months, there has been a huge trend of creating end-to-end workflows, Zapier automations or Make automations, and selling these to clients. The problem is a lot of these clients don't want to import a JSON file, create an end-to-end account, and do these technical steps just to use the automation they've already paid for. They want it done easy. So that automated LinkedIn lead gen workflow you have or that you got from one of these AI gurus, yeah, that's not gonna make you any money, buddy. So you have to sell AI productized systems. And now let's look at the blueprint. So the plan of action is simple. We're gonna start with phase 0 and then go to phase 6. Now phase 0, why others fail. Phase 1, boring, manual, can't say that online. Phase 2 is to build 1.0. Phase 2 is analysis. Phase 4 is build 2.0. Phase 5 is scaling 0 to 1. And phase 6 is scaling 1 to 100. Now you might hear 1 to 100 and be like, wait, isn't it 1 to 10, then 10 to 100? No, we take action. We will talk about that when we get to it. So the first thing, phase 0. To make sure we succeed, we have to understand why others fail, because a lot of people fail and we don't want to repeat the same mistakes. There's a famous quote that says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So if we're doing the same things that other people who are failing are doing and we're expecting some success out of that, how is that not insane? The number one thing you have to remember is you cannot truly automate something if you have not done it manually first. So there's a big AI guru on YouTube named Nate Herc who's been blowing up on YouTube due to his end-to-end automations, and he's selling workflows. You can see he says $6,000 AI workflow right here, and he has a workflow for a Photoshop, AI consulting. He has a workflow for looks like posting on different socials, right? A whole different bunch of automations he's built. He has a school community that has like thousands of tens of thousands of members. Now, one thing to recognize is he says, join my free school community for all the resources to set this system up. This is one of his common taglines in most of the video descriptions. Essentially meaning, in a free community, he's selling all the AI workflows for free that are shown in his videos. So when you watch these end-to-end workflow videos, and you're like, oh my God, I'm about to copy this workflow and sell it. Hey, guess what? You're the 10,000th person who's pitched this workflow to a company. How can you expect that your workflow will be the one that the company buys, but all the 9,999 people who came to that same company before pitching the exact same workflow from the exact same guy in the exact same community is any different? Now, don't get me wrong. You can make a lot of money selling AI workflows, but you're not going to be making the tens of thousands of dollars that you're expecting. Or if you do, it's going to take you much, much longer because there's just so many people doing this exact same thing. I mean, like everyone is copying the same workflow, right? And taking it to market. So like the first person, the $6,000 workflow that's shown in this video, for example, right? The first person who sells it might make $6,000. And in fact, the next three people who copy that first person might also make $6,000. Like that's not unimaginable. But now when you go to the next set of 5 people, right? Each person can maybe only get $3,000 out of it because the demand for this automation isn't as high because it's so available. So many other people have it. It's not unique in any sort of way. And then as time goes on, right, this is a 50% reduction in total value you're able to sell this automation for. And as time goes on and more people start duplicating the same workflow, the value of the workflow drops tremendously, eventually reaching -90 to -100%. So if you're that, most people fall in this range, right? Most people are getting the workflow, they're like the 50,000th view on a video or the 60,000th view in a video, and now they can copy his workflow and always sell for $300, right? Whereas the first person, maybe this guy right here, was actually able to sell it for $6,000. Because the main issue is that the workflows all look the same, they bring the same result, they're all equal in speed, and they cost the same. So there's nothing differentiating these workflows at all. Do you see the issue that is happening live in front of you? This is what you cannot fall under. You cannot be in this trap. So to make sure you don't fall in this trap, this is where we start building productized AI systems. And for that, phase 1 is to do the boring manual shit. You know, you're doing everything manually. You can't truly automate something if you have not done it manually first. And as boring as it is, it's extremely important. I personally have gone through 100+ processes manually to just understand what is going on. And here's exactly what I learned. The first thing is the mental toll it takes on someone to repeat the same process over and over again is really real. You'll be surprised by how many people hate their job just because of how monotonous it is. It's the same exact things. I mean, if you're working a job right now, a 9 to 5, or you're a college student working a side gig, when you do the same thing every single day, don't you get bored? Even if it's easy, I'm sure you get extremely tired and bored of it. Right? Another thing I learned is that many processes that make up the bigger process are 4 to 5 figure opportunities in themselves. See, you might get a client who wants you to, for example, my $12,000 client wants me to automate a bunch of ad creation and ad tracking, right, for Instagram ads. Now, in that big process, just creating the ad creatives on autopilot is a multi 4-figure quote. It's like a $4,000 project in itself, right? Finding the best competitor ads and managing ad campaigns in an automated fashion is another $3,000, $4,000 you can charge a client. So in these big processes, there are many processes that hold a lot of value. And if your AI system can automate all these processes, that's when you have a complete product and you're able to charge a client or a company like $5,000, $6,000, $10,000+. Another important thing you learn by going through processes manually is what takes the most time. And that's going to help you realize, okay, I should automate this first because it's taking the most amount of time. So it's probably result in the most amount of time saved, obviously, and money saved. Now, this is what's going to help you learn to understand what people pay money for. See, you have to understand that true value what you're building is something that is saving someone time, and time is money, right? So the more time you're saving, the more money you're saving, meaning the more valuable your system is. Now here's an example. I made a YouTube video not too long ago, 3 weeks, that got about 38,000 views, one of my higher performing videos, right? And this exact project that I built in this app, or this video, I am reusing it for my $12,000/$11,000 project. So the exact same app, I'm just remastering and taking some of the mini processes from that app into my client project. So my work speed is much, much faster. I don't have to recreate everything from scratch. Now, you're probably watching this video and you have absolutely no previous app or previous project you created that you can resell to a client, right? No worries. Let's go through the process of building an app like this, right? Which is worth $11,000 because it's literally being used right now. Before building the app, I pretended I was my dream client. So I pretended I was Coca-Cola, right? And I was trying to speed up the creative process of building cool advertisements. Now, again, what is phase one? Is doing everything manually. And by doing everything manually, you can see how long does it take to do something. And by the way, the creative process of building cool advertisements is a literal multi-billion-dollar operation. So I know there's a lot of money in this field. So I am willing to spend the time to do this manually, go through this whole process manually to see how long does it really take, because it's worth it, right? It's worth automating. So the first part is just research, right? I need to find some sort of base image that can pass into Google's image generation AI, which is Nano Banana. And that took about 20 seconds. Literally quick Google search, Coca-Cola bottle, bunch of images. I believe I just picked this one. I went with that. Then about 2.5 minutes is taken just for prompting Google's Nano Banana and then actually waiting for the new image to generate. You see right here, I asked Nano Banana to generate ad for this bottle with the watermark of the brand in the bottom right of the ad. And then I gave some more direction, like making the ad have an ice cold theme to capture the fact that Coca-Cola is refreshing on a nice hot day, right? And this is the ad it came up with, which I mean, it's pretty cool, right? Instant chill relief from the heat. Coca-Cola, the refreshing escape. You have the watermark right there. You have the bottle front and center. It's a pretty decent ad. Like, I can't lie, it's pretty decent. It looks visually appealing. It captures that cool, refreshing theme on a hot summer day. Okay, the next part, actually animating it, because I not only want to create a static image ad, but another big thing in the ad industry is creating video ads. I'm sure there's probably a video ad that played before you saw this video. Or this video ad that might play right now. That would have been cool if that worked. I don't know if it worked. Comment down below if it worked. I asked VO3 to generate a video ad, and I gave it a prompt as well, which takes time. To generate, create the prompt and make sure it's good, and then actually waiting for VO3 to create the video. And that took about 3 minutes, right? So what does that mean? This entire process is a 6-minute process, which you might be like, man, 6 minutes? Like, what's the point of automating a 6-minute process? Now let's look at it like this. What if I wanted to, do everything at scale? Like, because Coca-Cola is not create one ad. And they're definitely not gonna use the first version of the ad as the final ad, right? So imagine I wanted to do this at scale. I was responsible for creating hundreds of ads, right? It would take me about an hour just to create 10 different creatives, right? We're considering a static ad and a video ad as the same creative in this case. 6 minutes per iteration, right? So times 10 is 10 creatives, 1 hour. Now, what if this was automated? What if I could create 10 creatives in a much faster way without having to do anything, and that way I can do something else with my time. This is where we get into phase 2, build 1.0. Now remember, there's 2 build sessions. The first one is also important, but the second one is definitely more important. But let's focus on the first one first. The one goal we have in this phase is just to automate the manual operation as best we can with either end-to-end or Claude code. If you're a no-code person or a code-based person, whatever your forte is, whichever is fastest. The point of this isn't to make it pretty. The point of this phase is just to build the automation and make sure it works, right? Remember, our one goal is to automate the manual operation as best we can. We don't care about looks or aesthetics. So for the image creation that we saw, I use this Nano Banana end-to-end automation that I manually built, right? And then I also built a VO3 automation for the actual animation of the static ad to turn to a video ad. This, after running my automations together, it was a 2-minute process, right? So I took a 6-minute process and turned it into a 2-minute process. Now, what does this mean? At this point, I verified the process is automatable. And when I say this, I basically mean that this works, right? Like whatever I was trying to do in phase 1 right here, right? Everything was automated and automated correctly, and it worked, right? And I also verified the automation saves considerable time. It went from a 6-minute process to a 2-minute process, which is a 3x save. That is incredible. Companies are willing to spend millions of billions of dollars for anything that can save them 66% of their time. And finally, I built a MVA that allows me to show the client results at scale. Now you might be like, an MVA? I've never heard of that. An MVA is a minimum viable automation. Honestly, I don't know if I started this term, but it is a term now. A minimum viable automation, just an end-to-end make or code-based flow that gets the job done. The whole point is to make sure that your MVA is automating whatever the task is. It doesn't matter how you do it, right? Now, you're not meant to show the MVA, like you're not meant to show your client, hey, look at this workflow I built. Oh, no one cares. You're just meant to show the results, saying, hey, this is what my workflow produced. This is what my automation produced. Right? This is proof to yourself that you can automate this operation, and it helps you not waste time. Because if you can't build a minimum viable automation for your whatever you're trying to automate, drop it. Move on to the next idea. There's thousands of ideas you can do, thousands of things you can automate. If you can't build an MVA, get out of there. Okay, there's no point, you're wasting more time. Now, phase 3 is the analyze part, and a lot of people skip this, which is the reason why so many people waste a ton of time in any business, especially in the AI field. People spend months building some sort of voice AI agent or super complicated AI system or whatever AI app, and then after 3 months, they made $0. And they're like, wait, why am I making no money? What am I doing wrong? Dude, dudette, you never analyzed your MVA. You never analyzed your base version. You have to make sure that you perform this phase correctly, because I believe this is the most important phase. This will save you time, money, and your mental health. So in this phase, you want to ask yourself 3 questions. 1 is, how much time has your automation saved? The more time your automation saves, the better. Remember, ours was saving like 66% of the time, right? Then you also want to ask, how much money has your automation saved? Right now, we don't know how much money your automation is saving, but we will find out later in this video. 3, what is the automation worth? Again, we can't really decide this until we figure out how much money it's saving, right? And then 4, guesstimate how many entities will need your tool. Right away, I know that this is a ad creation tool. Like, every company runs ads. Everyone's gonna need it. I can just tell that without having to do any research myself. But there's a very important formula I wanna go over, and that's the money plus time formula, right? This will help us answer questions 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is to calculate the number of hours we saved in a week if the original process was spent 40 hours on. Most jobs require workers to work 40 hours a week, so this is one of the best metrics you can do, especially when you pitch to a company and say, hey, you spend $10,000 for a 40-hour-a-week worker. I can save you $5,000, so you only spend $5,000 on a 40-hour-a-week worker. And that's a great way to pitch to a client. They'll understand, they'll be willing to pay, and just makes a deal much easier. But the original process is 6 minutes, 1 ad, right? That's what we got from phase 1 in our first build. 1 hour, 10 ads. That's the ratio. So in 1 hour, we're able to produce 10 ads. In 40 hours, we're able to produce 400 ads, right? Multiply by 40, multiply by 40. This is not complicated math. So let's say an average employee earns $50 an hour, right? Especially when it comes to like marketing, tech, whatever. $50 an hour at 40 hours a week is $2,000 a week, or $8,000 a month in time cost for 400 ads. So a company must pay someone $8,000 a month to produce 400 ads. That's, depending on how big your company is, it might be a lot, might be a little bit. Now, let's look at the automated process. 2 minutes for an ad. So in 1 hour, it can produce 30 ads, which is 3x, right? In 40 hours, it can produce 1,200 ads. Again, 3x. 50 hours at 40 hours a week is $2,000 a week, or $8,000 a month in time cost for 1,200 ads. 3 times the ads. So for 400 ads, it's 8,000 divided by 3, which is about $2,700 a month in time cost. So we went from spending $8,000 a month in time cost to $2,700 a month in time cost. That is a crazy cost save. Now, we are saving the company $5,300 a month. So we can price our automation anywhere from 15 to 30% of the cost save. Because we're saving them this much amount of money per month. So we can charge anywhere from $795 a month to $1,509 a month. These are insane prices. The SaaS you probably see on the internet are like $50 a month or $60 a month, right? No, these AI systems can go for thousands per month. I know it because one of my best videos, I talk about me charging clients $600 a month just to use my AI system. And this is where the big question comes. But how many people will actually need my tool, right? Now, to figure this question out, now for ad spend, in my specific case, it's pretty easy to tell. I mean, every company spends on ads. I know that companies will love saving money and time on ads. It's a no-brainer. But let's say your idea or whatever you're trying to automate or build a system for is not that straightforward. Use GPT-5 to do market research. Okay, use Google Trends for keyword research. You can like type in literally anything on Google Trends. You can see how much volume that keyword has. So people are searching up ads automation. I know that it's pretty needed, right? A lot of people are searching for it. And then again, you can use personal judgment and market sentiment from what you have seen on social media. I see companies running ads every single day. So you have to. Again, this video probably had an ad, so I can pretty much understand that a lot of people will need this automation, right? And then the question becomes, okay, but who's gonna pay $800 to $1,600 a month for this tool? This is a false narrative that tools can only be priced at $60 to $250 a month. Like I said, that's traditional SaaS. With AI systems, it's all about value-based pricing. How much money are you saving someone? If you're saving someone more money than they're currently spending, and it follows this formula, they're gonna agree. Now, what this double gradient sign means is that the current spend minus the future spend post-automation should be much greater than the cost of the tool. So for example, we're saving the company $5,300 a month. $5,300 a month is much greater than $795 a month or even $1,509 a month. So a company, if we're able to save them this much money, they'll probably be more than willing to pay us $1,509 a month, right? Because they're still positive about $3,800, which is a lot. So now we get to this point. And this point is very important. Do not continue if at this point you do not believe in what you built or if the money does not make sense. After you've done all the analysis, do not force the next step. If the money is not there, leave. Start something new. Do not waste your time. If the money is there, but you've lost passion or you just don't feel like building what you want to build or building the system anymore, leave it. Drop it. Do not waste your time working on something you don't believe in or is not valuable. Because if you do, you're just wasting your time, you're wasting your mental health, you're wasting your money, and I don't want you to do that. Trust me, I've seen so many people fail like this. So many people on YouTube are following these gurus and these weird communities. They're just not doing well because of the fact that they think they know everything and they spend so much time to building one product. They don't test, they don't analyze, and they fall flat on their face and they quit. And they're back to 9 to 5, back to their regular life. But now if things do work out, you can continue to phase 4. This is build 2.0. This is the more important phase because this is where we're actually turning our system into a product. So this is an example from the video that I showed earlier, right? Where I create the UI using Lovable AI to build the UI for these two workflows right here, right? Very straightforward. UIs are amazing. They make the automation easier to use. Like no one wants to like download end-to-end automation. No client was gonna want to do that. They just want to nicely use easy UI. And the cool thing is UIs you can usually upsell for like $500 minimum. You can say, hey, if you want a nice UI, you have to pay $500 more. Mostly every client will agree to it. I've never had a client say, nah, I'm good, right? A UI also makes the automation, so the system, more visually appealing, right? The common architecture is use end-to-end for the back end and use Lovable for the front end. And then another cool thing is you can show the UI in video demos, right? This is marketable. People see this cool UI, they're like, huh, I want to test this product out. No one looks at this and is like, wow, I just can't wait to use this automation. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Who does that? But when you look at a nice app or a nice desktop app or a nice website, you're like, I want to try that out, right? That's the important part about a UI. UIs make things easier to market. Easy marketing means easy client getting. Easy client getting means easy money, right? And the cool thing about Lovable is it supports Supabase for user authentication and Stripe for payment processing. Now, in the case that you're working with a client for a one-time project and you're not making a SaaS or anything like that, I still recommend adding Supabase and Stripe because you never know when your one-time project might become a full-on SaaS. Hint, hint, you'll see soon. And now this is your MVP, okay? And MVP obviously is minimal viable product, meaning it's usable and fully functional. Your MVP does not have to be perfect, it just has to work. And you can sell this at a discounted rate and use the income that you get from your early users, early buyers, to reinvest into the MVP to make it better. Now you get to phase 5, the 0 to 1. At this point, you have a final product that you can sell to your client. Your client sees this, they're impressed, and they're ready to buy. At this point, all you have to do is not mess up. Don't be that person who's like, yeah, I know I said $5,000, but I actually think I'm gonna charge you $8,000. Don't do that. You're gonna lose a client immediately. I don't know why people do that, but I've seen it. Secondly, you wanna make sure to let the client know how hard you worked on this. Client sentiment is very important. When you let a client know how much you worked on something and they've seen the product in action, they love the product, and they know you worked so hard on it, they love you. They literally fall in love with you, and they want to work with you more and more and more. And this helps you increase the LTV of your client. And increasing LTV is something we'll talk about more in a future video, but there's multiple ways to do it. One, the psychological, just letting your client know how hard you work on something. Second, give them a credit. Give them like $500 off the next project. Be like, hey man, because this was an amazing experience, I just want you to know if we ever want to work together again, I will give you $500, $1,000 off the next whatever software you want. And they'll be like, oh my God, I gotta use my credit. Bill me this, and this will get you your second project, your second check. But now what if you built this entire AI system, but you don't have a client who's already ready to buy it? It doesn't matter, no worries. See, at this point, this is what you're gonna have to do anyways in the future. And if you do have a client and you're trying to sell this to other clients, you gotta be marketing, okay? I recommend sending 50 DMs a day on Instagram to your ideal user, the person you think that is most willing, right, to buy something like this. You wanna send 50 LinkedIn messages a day. You wanna post on X every day. And I just started X, right? And you see that I only have 553 followers, right? And I'm constantly posting. I'm not getting a ton of views. I'm not getting a ton of likes, right? But I'm posting. And that's the most important part. People don't even start posting, and then they worry why they can't get any clients, right? I've gotten some that got 296 views, 617, right? 230. And then I got some ones that have only gotten like 128. I also recommend posting every other day on Reddit and responding to Reddit comments, because Reddit is a great way to advertise your skills and get new clients. I've gotten a lot of clients off of Reddit. It's slept on. Use it to your advantage. Another thing, you want to post on LinkedIn. People don't like posting on LinkedIn because they feel weird about it. Just post on LinkedIn. No one cares. Everyone knows that people are entrepreneurs. Everyone knows that people have side hustles. Just post on LinkedIn. I have a student who named Shannon, and he talked about how he hopped on a call with a real estate client, right, that he got from a LinkedIn post. The client hit him up from seeing his post, right? And he basically closed that client. He got his first client from a LinkedIn post. And you see right here, this was on September 2nd. On September 9th, he told the group that he met with the client. He got $500 secured. And the same client, right, is now paying him $4,000 for a rental property management solution. That is amazing. Good job, Shannon, if you're watching this video. I'll see you in the group call this Saturday. Another student of mine, he went viral on Reddit after just like 2 weeks of me mentoring him, right? And you don't need my mentoring. I'm just saying. 32,000 views. What do you think happened because of this post? He got leads. He got people hitting him up. He got people asking him to build stuff. This is how you get clientele. You don't need a big personal brand, a big YouTube channel, a big TikTok or Instagram. Just start posting today and you will see the returns come. And when you get that first client becomes a testimony. And that's when the second client says yes sooner. The third client is more convinced faster. The fourth client also is like, oh my God, you have 3 clients. I see 3 testimonies. I want to be the 4th testimony. It's a snowball effect. After you get the first client, every client after becomes so much easier. And now we hit the phase 6, 1 to 100 step. Now, like I said, people say it's 0 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100. Well, we're going from 1 to 100, and here's how. We're turning our AI system into a product, right? We're productizing everything we've built. We're not selling it as just an end-to-end workflow or just a UI. We've connected the two together, and now it's a full-on, full-stack app that can be resold the exact same way it is to multiple people around the world. Now, if you have a client who has paid for your AI system already, You can just look for people who match your client's profile and sell the exact same system to them. So if you sold your system to a real estate agent based in Las Vegas, find other real estate agents in Las Vegas. Those are the easiest ones to sell to because you've already done it. Don't try to look for a real estate agent in Florida all of a sudden. Just finish all the ones in Vegas first, and then you can move on and branch out. And then that original client that you got, that original, let's say Vegas real estate agent, you want to turn that original client into a marketer. And this is the best solution if the client has rights over your AI system. See, sometimes when a client hires you to do a project for them, they want all the rights. So whatever you build for them is completely theirs. You cannot resell to anyone else. In the case they do not have the rights, right? You can sell to anyone else. It's up to you. But let's say they do have the rights. You can still sell to other people. You just gotta let the client know that, hey, I want to sell this to other people. I think we can work out a partnership where you get X% of sales, right? So this AI system I built for you, right? It's also yours. Like you get a percentage of every sell I get from here on out. And at that point, they'll be willing, right, to give you some of the rights or the intellectual property so you can resell this to multiple other clients, right? And this is where, first it's just you, right? Now, you sell it to one client, sell it to two clients, right? But your client, your original one who maybe paid you $5,000 for the project, they will probably find other clients in the same space faster because why? Real estate agents in Vegas know other real estate agents in Vegas. Basketball athletes know other basketball athletes. Waiters at restaurants know other waiters at restaurants. Everyone knows the others in their group. You might find 2 clients that need your system, but your first client will probably find 4 clients that need your system. And this is where magic happens. See, you can charge that initial client $5,000 because you built the project for them, and you give them like 15% of sales. And that first client can, find, let's say, 4 clients faster than you find 4 clients. And you're not going to charge each new client $5,000, right? You'll probably charge a monthly retainer of the $795 to $1,590 month fee that we talked about prior, that we calculated using our money time formula. And honestly, charge lower. I would realistically charge $795 a month because that's still a lot of money, and we're trying to do volume, right? It's always easier to sell at a cheaper price. And anything above $1,000 a month, it automatically starts alerting customers and makes them a little more hesitant. But things under $1,000, they're more willing to buy. It's just psychology. Now, as you do this, right, one thing you can do is one of the other clients that either you get or that your first client gets, you can turn them into a marketer as well and give them 15% of sales on top of that. And this becomes like a cool thing where now that client is also going to try and find other clients, so that way he can get a commission and own a part of the SaaS, right? And this is how you can scale your SaaS very, very quickly. And again, this client is also a real estate agent in Vegas, so he knows other real estate agents in Vegas, so they can find clients faster than you can. So while you find 2 clients yourself, you already have 8 clients landed, and your productized AI system is just gonna increase and its monthly revenue like day after day after day, and it gets amazing, right? And now as you scale, you want to focus on the following. What are customer pain points in the tool? How can you improve the product? And this is, you can only really improve the product if you know your customer pain points, because you want to remove these pain points as fast as possible. You want to continuously refine your product. And one of the easiest ways to refine your product is by reinvesting a portion of profits back into the tool. This way, you're still constantly making money, but you're also spending some money to improve the product, and you're not ever having to pay out of pocket to maybe fix a feature in your system or maybe make your system have a new UI. It's all money you've already made that you're just reinvesting. Another thing you want to focus on is how can you deploy more marketers? This is a great way, right? You turn current clients into marketers that can find more clients. My go-to, it works almost every single time, right? And last thing I want to focus on is what is the competition doing? If you're not focusing on your competition and you're only focusing on your product, you're gonna probably make mistakes that your competitors have already made. So you matter of fact, pay attention to them and learn from whatever they're doing wrong. Because your competition is gonna make mistakes, right? So learn from their mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes your competition is making. That way you can progress much faster than they are, make more money. Your SaaS will be the number 1 in its industry, and you're a millionaire. There you go. you're a millionaire. This next part might seem a little bit useless to you, but to be honest, a lot of people have limiting beliefs. So I want to take this time to reinforce the fact that you can grow quick in this AI space with productized AI systems. You can run multiple AI agents and automations once you productize. You can make 10K a month with just one of these AI systems. You can have a life outside of work while making a lot of money. You can build these systems with not as much coding experience. You can do this. Don't be that person who stops themselves short without even trying. There should be no excuse why you don't build a productized AI system now. You must master this framework. If you do not remember the 7 phases by heart, please go watch this segment over again. Okay, if you're still here, that means you can recite it by heart. You better not be lying. Now we're going to build and sell an AI app completely from scratch. In this video, I'm going to build and sell an AI app completely from scratch. From app idea to market validation, to building the app, to doing a marketing campaign, to getting real paying customers and making money. Everything will be shown in this video. And to challenge myself, I'm only giving myself 24 hours to do all of this. And if I fail, I guess I'll be a sad, depressed failure. But we won't fail. And I'm going to prove to you that we can build and sell an app completely from scratch as complete beginners with no coding experience and still be successful. Now, to start this process that will make us millionaires, the first step is the app idea. Now, lucky for you, the app idea, I already got a really good one. Google recently released their new AI tool, Nano Banana, which is insane. It can take any image and edit it however you want. I've created YouTube thumbnails with this, fun images, and even lived out some of my fantasies. Maybe that was a little bit oversharing. But the real money in this is using Nano Banana to edit an image and then Google Veo 3 to animate it. But why is this a good idea? Well, it's gonna change the ad making industry forever. Our app will make it easy for ad companies to create static ads as well as video ads, all with the click of a button. I mean, we can sell this app to businesses, creators, designers. The whole world is our playground. With our app idea in mind, it's time to build it. Let's do this. Okay, so to build a really good app with Lovable, one of the best things you can do is just actually give a sample image. So that's what I'm gonna do is I found this sample image off of Google Images, and what I would do is search up cool UIs for creating images, and just look at different dashboards, find something you like. I found, honestly, this is pretty cool too, actually. A lot of different cool images, but this one right here is the one that I thought was the coolest one. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to say we are building a tool called Nano Ads. Is that cool? That allows people to provide a sample image URL, and the app will create variations of the sample image. That makes sense, right? So now we have to tell Lovable to create the UI exactly like this image, or at least do the best part. And we'll give some changes to make it our own. So this is a prompt that I gave it. The objective, the task, as well as the styling. We're gonna see what it whips up. This is obviously very variable, it's not too in depth, but our app is also pretty creative, right? It's pretty simple, I mean. Here, let's send it. And let's look at what exactly it cooks up. Now, as the UI is being built, we have to remember how exactly do we want our app to work? Well, the front end is gonna be Lovable and the back end will be end-to-end. So what we're gonna be doing is we are going to have our front end take in an image URL, as well as any special user request. We'll send that information to end-to-end, which is our back end. And end-to-end will use Nano Banana and Veo 3 to create a variation of the sample image and animate the sample image to turn into an ad, and then it'll send that back to the front end and we'll display the final creative or the final ad on our front end. So that's the flow that we're working with. And yes, we are building the UI first because with UIs, you can create landing pages and add screenshots. You can start marketing the app before you actually build it. And that's one of the best things you can ever do. Looks like it's done. Wow. Look at that. It's literally almost the exact same as our sample image. We have the dashboard. Wow. Total images, downloads. Good now. Okay, popular tags, settings, profile settings. Wow, this is actually really, really cool. All right, so we're probably not gonna be using all these tabs and we can definitely condense our app, but The main thing we focus on is a create tab, right? Sample image URL, how you want the variation to look, and generate variations. This is what matters. And then we can, does it work? No? Okay, that makes sense, right? Yeah. All right, so this is what we're working with. It's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I think we can tell to trim down, let's say, take out the tool section and the tabs under it. All right, so once that's taken out, we pretty much finish our UI like that quick. That is actually, that's the power of AI. Like you can build apps within just like 5 minutes. All right, so now we're gonna get into building the backend. All right, so now we're going to create the backend of our app. Now, the first thing we have to keep in mind is the way we are going to trigger our backend from the front end is by doing a webhook. So we're gonna use this trigger. We're just gonna pass in this URL into our front end, and we're going to also let it know to give us the image URL that the person's entering, as well as a variation description. So when the user enters this image URL and this text right here, we're going to be getting that data in our webhook. So we're basically letting the Lovable know to send the image URL as well as the variation text into our backend of Anyden. So we're gonna have to wait for that to be done, but let's pretend it is done. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna have to analyze the image. Okay, and we use any model. I use for latest. Make sure you have your OpenAI account connected. So this is mine right here. If you don't have one, just click edit. You enter your API key, and it should be good. Okay. All right. So for the image URL, is Lovable done? Okay, so it's still working. So we are going to get the image URL from the webhook, right? So I believe we can do something like JSON.image URL. I think this would work once you get the webhook. If not, what you can do is you can always just pass in this image right here. This is like an image of a soda bottle, you know, that we have. So we use that. We can just use this for now. And the text input, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say analyze the product or character in the image, right? Because that's what we want to focus on. So we're also gonna add a little bit more. And what we're gonna be doing is basically letting our system know to add the brand name of the product, you know, if there's a product, right? And if it's of a character, this is a character name. Looks like, let me get some text. And then return the YAML. This prompt I did get from a school community, but I'll also add this prompt in the description below, so you can, you know, get this for free and use this for yourself. Okay, so that's the image URL. I believe. All right, so it looks like everything is done here. So we're gonna be doing, we can try this out now. Make it a snowy environment. Yeah, click generate variations. Okay, so first you need to execute the workflow, and then click generate variations. And look at that, it was triggered. So it was triggered successfully. And in the body, we have image URL. All right, so the body looks a little weird. Yeah, like this is kind of hard to read, right? Pass in the image URL as an easy retrievable attribute called image URL. For variation text, call it user request. Make it, format this as JSON, a readable JSON. when sending the information in the body. Because right now, I mean, it's kind of hard for our tool to understand what needs to be doing. But what we can do, since we have this hard code anyways, we can just click execute step. And we have the image, right? So a classic Coca-Cola glass bottle filled with dark soda, prominently displaying the white Coca-Cola logo cursive script across the center label. That was insanely horrible English. But we have our content, right? So the analysis, right? How do you say that? Is good, right? I was able to analyze what we needed. All right, that's what matters. So now we're gonna add the AI agent. This AI agent is what's really gonna create the ad copy, right? We have this image and we want to generate a ad for it, right? But based on the user's request and whatever, a couple other things. So this is gonna copy this from here. But in our case, we're only doing one separate image, and we can delete that as well. Delete this example. And we have user special request. So the user special request will be we're gonna pass that in, right? That's what this field is for. Yeah. Right now we will just hard code that. Just put the value right there. This should be good. All right. Now we're creating one image prompt as guided by system guidelines. Now, what are the system guidelines? Well, system guidelines, we don't have any. So let's add it. And again, this is accounting for multiple images. We don't need all that. Create exactly one image ad prompt. So system personalities, you're an image ad prompt generator. The task is create one image ad prompt. The final prompt should look like this. All right. And the output count, just do 1. You don't need a separator. Don't need this example either. And yeah, we're good. Now, certain things like text watermark and text watermark location, you probably don't need. That is a little overboard, but we will keep that in for now. That's our system personality. Chat model. It's OpenAI 4.1 mini is fine. A tool, think tool. This just makes sure that our AI agent actually thinks about what it wrote, right? And then for output format, structured output parser, we can say image prompt. It's not gonna be ad prompt, right? And we'll copy this right here. All right, so that's the image prompt. So we have pretty much everything right here. Let's save this. And we can exit run it. Make an image ad for this product, the following elements, the product's exact custom reference image. So look at that. It's created a pretty cool ad prompt. Nice. This is pretty cool. We have exactly what we need, right? All right, cool. So the next part is we are going to sanitize our output. Now, what this means is, so if you look at this, right, we see these \ns and these line breaks. And when you have that in your JSON, what can happen is when we send this to Google's Nano Banana, we can face some issues, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to sanitize the JSON. So if we do that is we're just going to paste this right here, and it's image prompt. So this would do is if you execute step, do notice how those \ns are no longer here, and it's just one long piece of text, right? So it's pretty. It's literally pretty. It's you can read it. So now comes the magic. Now we are going to make a HTTP request to Open Router. So for Open Router, do a post request. You want to do predefined credential type. You want to select open router. I already have an open router account. If you do not, you have to make one, but you go open router 2.5 flash image preview. This is the official name for Nano Banana. You go to API, you create your API key. So you just, N8 and ads. All right. I already have one here. So you just paste your API key in there. Now look at the URL. So we go back, go on curl. The URL is right here. And it's a post request, I believe. Okay, you're sending data. You want to do send body and then, JSON. You can just copy this from there, paste that. Okay, so now this is a user special request. I'm sorry, this is that. The URL, we can hard code it since we've been doing that already. As where's the soda bottle? The soda bottle. So there you go. All right, show data. There you go. We have our image right here. All right, perfect. So now what? But what we would do is do respond to webhook. So basically, we're gonna send back the image URL to our front end, right? So we're gonna say image final add creative, and we're gonna pass in that URL. Real quick, just to see how it looks like. Just copy this, paste that. All right, so we have half an image. The reason is because it's like this start, and usually Google can't display the full image for whatever reason. So here, we're just do that, and yeah, it's pretty long. All right, so with our entire flow, for the most part, done, I believe. We have to, well, first I click this, and to respond using respond to webhook node. And now we have to like make sure it actually returns. Okay. Let's make sure that here. Wait, stop right here. Okay, why is the body still ugly? So you see right here, what I did was the data is being sent in the body is poor. It should be like this. Then I reformatted it, right? And then I said make it like this. Right now it's being passed as right here, which is not good. So now we're looking for, also I'm telling it that our webhook will respond with this. So please be prepared, right? You always want to let the AI know how the data that's getting back will look like. Maybe give an example so you can understand better. And that's allow the image to be downloadable as well, right? Because obviously you want the user to be able to download the image that's created. So now we're gonna click enter and we're gonna let it go. All right, so it looks like it was done. Pretty quick if you ask me. Make it a snowy land. All right, so let's just delete this for now. Listen for test event. Here. Okay. I was gonna crash out. I thought that it did the same thing again, but see, now it's properly formatted. So now we're gonna do where's image URL and user request, right? So here's what we're gonna do. So URL, originally we were passing in manually. Now we can just do image URL right there. Right here. That's the user request. And then leave that the way it is. This also, the image URL, we're gonna pass in right here. All right, cool. So now that's all fixed. See, workflow is waiting for the test URL. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it, baby. Oh, messed up. Yeah. Now let's run it. All right, so it's running. Let's see. Workflow executed successfully. I'm scared to look, man. I'm actually scared to look. Oh my God, we got it. We got it, boys and girls. The image is right here. It is right here. It is, and we can download it. Oh my goodness gracious, the third. I mean, come on, everyone. Are we not super cool people right now? Do we not feel like we're the coolest people in the world? We downloaded it. Yeah, so this is literally a great MVP of using Nano Banana. You can honestly sell this, start selling this if you want to as like your base app. Wow, that's just so cool, man. That is so cool. Now, so one thing we're gonna say is make the container for the image. This image is kind of small. Obviously, like the real version is much bigger, but we should display the real version here, right? Remove the other placeholder images. We're gonna basically tell our tool to let the image be just bigger and remove this placeholder images. So that's fine. That works. We're doing good. We're doing actually really good. Now, the question is, we know this works, right? And what we'd like to do is like do nano add final. This means that it's fully done. The next step though is how can we get it so it actually animates, right? What we can do is have an animate button under the image, and when we click animate, when we click animate, that image will be sent to N8N via a webhook, and it's going to trigger a separate flow that uses Google Veil 3 to actually animate. So this is like a second part of what we're doing. So now it's the second part of what we're doing. So we already have our Nano Banana working, so we don't really have to worry about that. What we do have to worry about is FAO. FAO is a tool that will allow us to use Google Veil 3 and generate animations for our image. See right here, what I did was I asked Lovable, hey, I want to add an animate button under each created images that sends the image via N8N webhook to N8N flow. Can you tell me how you expect to send the image to N8N? I was curious to have what its plan was. So it told me that this is exactly what it's going to do. Process directly. So it's going to send this exact URL that we got from Nano Banana, which is great. That's honestly all we need. All right, and then we're going to convert it to like a file. We'll send it. So we'll do all that. Okay, so I made a new flow called Nano Animate, and this is gonna be another on webhook call. It should just be trigger manual for now. Eventually, it will be a webhook, obviously, but for now, we just do trigger manual. So what we want to do is we want to send an HTTP request. Actually, we're gonna have to do convert to files. So we're gonna do convert to. So the base 64 string is. Alright, do we have it saved anywhere? No, we don't. Well, that sucks. Essentially, that weird data 64 string will pass into here and output the data file. So, I wish you had like a. Here, I have an idea. I have to do set it. Let's say. All right. So that should be set now, right? Here, let's actually call this base. Let's call this base. There we go. And now we can actually view the image. Well, we can't actually view it, but if you download it, it will be the image that we're looking at, that we care about. Okay. So we have the image now. So now we're going to do is we're going to use file API to actually do image to video. So do video 3. There you go. So this literally tells you how to use it. So you go API. Do curl. So this is a URL right here. HTTP request. It's a post. So you're gonna put in the authorization, the data. This is text to video. Hold up, image to video. So that's your image URL. That's interesting. Go upstairs. Oh wait, no. We can just pass the regular image URL. Oh, in that case, we might not even need to convert to base 64 to a file. Here, we can actually test this out pretty nicely. Just copy the URL. And now we're gonna need authorization key. So all right, so we need a file API key. So to create your API key, what you can do just should be able to go on account, you go on API keys, and then you create your key. So I input my API key right here. I believe everything else should be good. So now we got to send a body, and we can say JSON. And that's the prompt. So for prompt right now, we can say whatever, to be honest. So right here, edit fields, right? We can just pass in base. Yeah. So we don't have to, care about the whole conversion aspect, which is great. Saves us some time. Yeah. And we're gonna have to do is after this, we have to wait because Google Veil 3 does take some a little bit of time. So I'd say wait like 120 seconds. About 2 minutes is good. Maybe 150 just to be sure. All right, so let's just run this. All right, so it's in the queue. So now it's gonna wait about 3 minutes. Right? So while that's waiting, let's copy this request ID. And then what we need to do is we're gonna have to get the image. So right, copy this. Let's make an HTTP request. So the request ID is right here. That's request ID. Then it needs authorization. What the thing? There's like a bug that came out of nowhere. Authorization, key, and then what was my key? Was it this one or this one? I believe this one, right? Yeah. Okay. So once that's done waiting, what we're gonna do is we're gonna send the key. Yeah, I believe that's all we need to do. So this should work, honestly. So let's just wait for this to be finished. In the meantime, let's look at this. We can say, yeah, implement. So we'll have our UI at this. All right. So we waited long enough. Now we're gonna execute the step. That didn't work. Let's wait a little bit longer, maybe. Let's wait a little bit longer. So that takes some time, right? Failed to load the image. Oh, I see. So we passed in the image URL. Right. But it failed to load it. Could be because maybe it's too large. It says right here as a file input. All right. So N8N or ChatGPT is telling us that it should work. Our image is not that big. What we can do is maybe try running this again. So I've made some changes and I think we got it. So let me recap. Basically, the reason it wasn't working was because it had that database 64 starter earlier, right? So what I took out the beginning part and just kept what came after the comma. So usually it starts with like, do you have an example? Let's see. Like it starts with like this, right? This comma, everything after it I kept. Everything before it I took out. And then I just converted it from base to data, which we were doing anyways. And then I upload to S3 bucket. See what was the thing is the image has to be uploaded to some platform that can host the image. So I just decided to add it to my S3 bucket. Now, real quick, to do this, you have to open an AWS account. So you can just go on like AWS. You create an account, whatever, right? Sign to your console. And then what you do is you just click S3. I have a bucket. So if you don't have a bucket, create a bucket. Give the name test bucket. Do ACLs enabled. Turn that off. And that should be good. Then you create your bucket. test bucket prod. All right, let's do add nano bucket jiggly poo. Yeah, let's see if that exists. All right, acknowledge that. All right, so bucket's created, and now what you do is you simply go end and you click upload file. Give the bucket name. So my bucket name is add created prod. Now the file name. The file name has to be more dynamic. Right now, I'm just hard coding add viral final, but that's not really what you want to do. You want to give some unique name because when you upload multiple images, they all can't have the same exact name, right? And make sure to do ACL public read write in the additional field. So do that. And then what that will do when you upload the file, it's gonna just add this. It's gonna upload the image right here, right? So now it's publicly accessible, which is what we care about. Boom, baby. Boom. Look at that. Right? And now we pass in the JSON out location right here. The prompt we can keep. And now we can get our amazing video. So let's run it right here. Oh my God. Starting from the top, I guess. See how I have to change this every time now? That's gonna be really annoying. So you don't want to do that. Up here, let's see what the final result is. Okay, well. We're gonna see what the final result is of the video. And I put like a 3-second, like a, what is this? Like a almost 3 minute, 2.5 minute pause. So we're gonna see what our final video looks like. And then we're gonna send that video back to our UI. All right, so one thing I did was I hard coded the ID, which is not good. Pass it in that way. Then we run this. No, I don't run it again. Oh my gosh, it's gonna run it again, isn't it? No, wait. No, it's gonna run it again. All right, so we have got our generated video. It is time to see what Veil 3 has created. Extraordinary. So we're gonna pass him the video URL and make it respond to the webhook. The video URL. Actually, things it can't wait that long. That's the only thing. A webhook can never wait for that long. So the thing is, our flow will time out by the time the video is ready. So we're gonna take the time to be like 70 seconds. And I hope that is done by then. And then we're gonna pass in the URL. And over here, we're gonna delete this and do on webhook call. Post. Just copy this. All right, so now what you have to do is you have to remove the anyden webhook URL input and have this be the in the body of this. Make sure to send the image URL of the created images, but split it. So here, let's say basically everything before the comma, including the comma, should be taken out. That's good, right? The webhook should be fired when someone clicks animate button. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I believe we can add this and it should make the changes we need. And then we can really test to make sure everything is working, which would be pretty crazy. All right, so we got an error. One thing we need to say is the response from the webhook once animate is called will take about 80 seconds. That's one thing. Also, the JSON return will have attribute. What was the attribute that we gave it? I believe it was veil video URL, which contains a URL such as, let's give an example URL as well. Display the video with download option. Or we can say display the video with download option if possible, or just add the URL in a text input into a text field. The user again copy the URL if they want. All right, so this should be the final step. All right, so looks like everything is added. Can we add this sample image? That should be good. Yep. The animate. Let's see if it allows us to do this. All right, cool. So we have this as a placeholder. All right, perfecto. This is ST workflow. Click animate. But that didn't work. Hey, it worked this time. All right. So the image URL. Can we replace the sample image with this image? Let's see. Oh my God. All right. So the image URL was working, which is good. All right. So now we have the image URL right here, which is great. We connect to edit fields. What we gotta do is take that all out and put image URL in there. And then convert that to file. That works. Upload file, generate VO3 video. Generate the VO3 video. That's good. All right, I think everything is good. We usually make sure that it works end to end, right? So let's click save. If the image starts with how will the URL be sent when user clicks animate button? So what I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that it's removing that with everything before the comma if it does start with this. Because we use example of this, right? This is not what we're really sending. We're sending things that look like this, right? So we have to test that. Okay, so it looks like everything is working. Then we're good to do a final end-to-end test. Make sure it all works. Here we go. Wow, I am kind of scared. Make a snowy environment. All we can do for this is actually, we actually have to do the production one now. Make this active. Production URL, copy that. We're gonna tell the lovable to switch. All right, so we're gonna switch that out. And we also have to switch out the production URL for nano animate. Actually, we keep this for test for. We can use that as test for now. We don't know if this works yet, right? So now we can do when things are in production, right? So we can't really see like the nodes fire, beginning to like end. So what you have to do is you go to executions, because production. So now you can see right here it's running, and we just wait until we get this image to pop up in our lovable right here. Ideally, if it breaks, then we're doomed. But I think it should be good. Well, there we go. Ignite your thirst, baby. Now we try the next part. Succeeded, right? So we do execute workflow. Click animate. Oh, why did it fail? So it's weird because this, I clicked animate here and it started working. It looks like this, I guess every new animate button doesn't hit the same URL when it should. We should specify that. But now it's working. Now it's running, at least. So now we wait until the video is shown. Now you might be wondering, Ritesh, what happened? It's dark outside. I thought we were still working together. Yes, we are. Just had to lock in for a bit. Our app's core functionality from generating the image to animating it is finally done. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Welcome, everyone. So here is our core product. As you can see, I imported the image URL, told it to make a snowy landscape. It created our image. And watch this. Can you guys hear this? I don't know if you guys heard that, but it creates the final video that a user can, with the download button right there. So if I were to open right here, boom, I have the full ad. Look at that snow falling. Look at that. Boom, snow fell in the Coke bottle. Oh my God, we are about to become millionaires. So the core feature is done now. All right, we have the created image and we have a generated video. So our app is working. Now, what did I change on the anime section? Again, recapping, this is nothing changed there. The upload file, what I did was I put in the image ID as part of the naming. This way, each time someone uploads an image into our S3 bucket, it is unique because we can't have any of the same file. And then, I mean, this is pretty straightforward, right? You pass in the JSON location and everything works pretty smoothly, honestly. It's pretty smooth from there. So now we're gonna do is the next step, and that is we have to add user authentication. So this way people can actually log in to our app, right? So let's do that. Great work. We also need to add, actually, let's just do the account login for now. And what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to open Supabase. All right, so we are now on Supabase. We have a project, let's call it Nano Ads. Create our new project. All right, so our new project ready. So connect a project, Agent Rise, Nano Ads. All right, so we are now connected. So it says follow instructions in the chat. So now Lovable can integrate with Supabase very effectively, so we can just let it handle the rest. Yeah, set up authentication for user login. All right, look at that. We now have a login system. I believe. Oh, it's still working. Okay, so we gotta wait. Fast test under development. No, we want confirm email. We don't want random people. Actually, okay, fine. Let's go authentication. Policy, sign providers. Just confirm email. Save changes. All right. All right, cool. So now if I were to sign up, it should not work. I haven't made an account yet. So I'm really trying to sign in, right? Yeah. Okay. Sign up. There you go. I'm in. Check your email to confirm your account. Okay, we don't care about that, to be honest. All right, so I'm in. If I sign out, okay, nice. And I can sign back in, I believe. Or am I looking up? Super easy. Look at that. With just a simple prompt, our authentication database is set up. It's actually that easy. That's what I'm saying. It's so easy to do all this. Okay, now let's add payment handling via Stripe. So for this, I'm going to have to create a Stripe product, I believe. All right, so we are setting up our Stripe nano ads. Okay. We have to switch a live account. So for services, we're going to say, no, it's not downloadable, right? Okay, maybe it's downloadable, I guess. Climate contribution. Here, after we made $1 million, we'll start donating to the climate. All right, so we're on a live account, so we should be able to accept payments now. We have our API keys as well. Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna pass our API key into Lovable, so that we can integrate with into Stripe. Okay. This is a pretty bad response because this is a pretty bad prompt because I didn't really specify how exactly we're gonna handle payment. Like, how are you supposed to be paying? You know, things like that. So let me actually stop it. The user has to have 1 credit to animate video as it takes let's do this. Here is the payment detail. So we're gonna say it takes 1 credit to animate a video. Then we will say generate variations is free, right? But it takes 1 credit to animate a video. User must pay for credits. 1 credit equals $2. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah. Let's do that. So now Lovable should set up our entire Stripe and ideally be able to integrate the payments into our tool, our app very nicely, right? All right, so that's for Stripe's secret key. Okay, do not look, everyone. Submit. All right, so now we are good to go. All right, creating a table to track user credits, which is great. We need that because each time a person logs in, we don't want them to start with 0 credits, right? If a user buys 1,000 credits, we want to make sure each time they log in, their credits are saved, which is what this is doing right here. That's great. Okay. All right. So it looks like we have, oh, Lovable has done it for us. All right, that's great. Question is, before us testing it, let's clean this up a bit. So I added this prompt to basically clean up everything. We're gonna move this credit buying to the settings page, and then take out API setting, take out billing subscription, take out notifications. Don't really need any of that. And we're just gonna remove the premium pack element in bottom left. We're gonna take that out as well. So let's go ahead and make those changes. Just clean up the UI a little bit, make it a little smoother, right? And then we can test to make sure buy credits is working. Holy, what on earth? It just changed everything mad quick. But I'm not complaining. I like this. I like this. I like this. So you can purchase credit just like that. I like this. Payments are processed, create through Stripe. Perfect. Okay. Well, this is good. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna actually test this out, and I'm kind of scared. I feel like this might not work. So it's 5 credits to $10. We'll get this plan because we're broke. Okay, let's see. Oh my god. Oh, buddy. Okay, so available credits is there. We had this crazy error bottom right, but we do have an error. Oh, that is fixed. I mean, okay. Now let's take it from the top. All right, so we have our created image. Now we're gonna click animate. Okay, so we have to still trigger our end-to-end animate flow because we're not using production URL yet. We do have to switch this to the production URL as well. So that's one thing we gotta remind ourselves. Change the N8 and webhook URL when clicking animate button to the following. All right, we gotta wait for this to run. Here, so we make sure that is changed to the following. Okay. Change only. Do not change the URL for the webhook when clicking generate variations. All right, so that should be good. That's done. Trying to think what else kind of messed up, and that weird error in the bottom right messed up. So we did get an error, and the reason is basically we asked for the video, if the video is ready, too early. So we need to wait a little longer than 80 seconds sometimes. So we'll push it to 90 seconds. So I'll make that change on the end side. So let's make this active. Here. That's fine. We'll wait 90 seconds. Let's wait 85 seconds. Okay. Save this. And we're going to make this production. Here. So let's open up this one again. Activate it. Got it. And then production. This is the correct one, right? Yep. So let's enter that. But before we do that, let's see if we want anything else to be changed. Oh yeah, so let's make sure that also make sure each time user generates a video, successfully, the credits are deducted by 1. That is displayed to the user clearly. We have to make sure that the credit system is working properly. Also make sure the user does not have more than 0 credits. Also make sure that the user only has 0 credits. They cannot upload, they cannot generate another video. They cannot animate another image. Let's do that. So we'll make those changes. I believe that should help a lot. Oh, we did get the payment. It came in $9.41. Look at that. We're making money. We're making money. Oh yeah, we're making money. Oh yeah. All right, so we're making some good steps. Look at that. $10 day 1. So obviously it's me, right? It's testing, so it doesn't really count. But cool. All right, so it looks like everything's updated. Perfecto. So let's look in the available credits. It's still 5, however. Okay, let's do that again. Make a lava environment. There you go. That says animate 1 credit, right? So let's click animate. So let it animate. And now we're going to switch to nano animate. Click executions. This one's running right here. You can see this past one that was running for nano add. The only reason our app can mess up is if the video is not done being created within 85 seconds, because that is the time we put it to. We can up it, obviously, but we can only up it so much because a request from the front end to the back end cannot hang for so long, So we just gotta pray that it's fast. Please be fast. We are using the VO3 fast model, so it should be like fast. Okay. Looks like everything worked. So if I flip to the lovable UI, I better see it all beautiful and amazing and dragons, breathing fire, Game of Thrones stuff. Let me go ahead and share that. Oh yeah, we got the video. Let's go. Perfect. I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna download that. That's actually really cool. Yeah, so we're gonna keep that for later for the promotional videos. With that being said, go on settings. Available credits for. Thank God it deducted 2. Let's go! It worked. We got user authentication. We got payment processing. We got everything working on like the actual app itself. We're done. We are done. Now we just gotta market and blow this up to $1 gazillion. Okay, so let's do that. Now we enter the marketing phase of our app. But the first thing we have to do is make sure our landing page actually shows off our app. So I went ahead and used Lovable to create the following landing page. Pretty cool. I provided some sample images from our previous runs of testing the app. So it's kind of like we're using our own app's production to advertise itself, which is kind of like the Matrix. But the real problem is, how do we get eyeballs on our app? Because we only have 24 hours to make millions of dollars with it. Here's the master plan. My plan is to make a post on X communities, LinkedIn, and a post on Instagram. Now, X and LinkedIn will be a written post, but for Instagram, I have a very special post plan. And this post is so special that anyone, no matter how many followers you have, can make this type of post. And it can get a lot of views. So this big trend on Instagram is creating reels where the top half is of the person and the bottom half is a video of some sort, showing off an automation or some sort of AI SaaS. So see right here, I did one right here, 5,000 views, 3.3K views, 4.1K views, 6.9K views. Check this out. So this video got 10.6K views, and watch this. This is exactly how I grew one of my SaaSes, and this reel got 10.6K views. So I brought a good amount of users to my app, right? So we can create, and look, this isn't the only one. This got 108,000 views. This got 32K views. This got 18K views. This got 2.4 million views. So this is absolutely nuts. So if I can create another reel that's like this, but kind of mix in this style right here, where this creator I know, I see, like that's a great hook, right? Where you're able to show the product in action. So I can combine that with like this style. I'm sure I can make a good reel that can go viral or semi-viral and can bring in a lot of traffic, a lot of users, right? So that's the goal of this. Now, to do that, we're gonna have to write a script. All right, so we're gonna show Coke bottle lava video in bottom half. Hot. Okay, so everyone comments down hot. We're gonna set up an automation that will automatically reply to them, and yeah, it'll automatically reply to them with the link of our app. So this is our script for our reel. This should be like about 20 seconds long, which is pretty good. Okay, that's a better hook than what we had before. So with this, we should be able to yeah, this is a good video to make. So now we have to actually sit in front of the camera and record this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But before we do that, let's do one more thing, and that will be to write a X and LinkedIn post. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just post our first video right now. Because why not? We're live. Say I created this ad with my new, we are going to drop the link of our tool, post this, and we will post this in a community. Build in public's a good one because it has a lot of people, right? And it's a lot of impressions. Let's post that. There, it's posted. All right, that's our first official advertisement is now out in the public, which is, hey, that's great. Now we're gonna move to LinkedIn. I made this. Yeah. Again, and real quick, let's just make sure. Yeah. We'll post this. All right. Another post is live. Upload complete. Okay, we got X down, we got LinkedIn down. So now is back to the holy grail, which is Instagram Reel. So let's go and create this reel. Before I show you all the final product, this is a timeline for the edits. There's not many edits going on. I'm here showing this just because I want you all to know that you can edit these reels. They're very simple. You literally have one screen recording, and then you have the raw footage, and then you add auto captions that is supported in Instagram, CapCut, and a bunch of other editing softwares. Trust me, you can do it. Do not think you can't. Now for the final product. Pretty sick. And now what we're gonna do is I have this reel on my phone. What I'm gonna do is use the Edits app because I heard that gives your Instagram reel more reach. I'm gonna upload that onto Instagram in the morning, as it's literally 12:24 a.m. right now. And once that's up, I'm going to add an automation that will automatically DM anyone who comments the word hot, the link to the app, and we're just gonna let the money pour in. See you all in the morning. Hey, it's the next day. Nice early in the morning. So what we're gonna do is we're now going to post our Instagram reel that we made yesterday, and we're gonna hope it goes viral. So let me go ahead and open the Edits app on my phone. I already have it as a draft, just export it. Actually, go to Instagram. Should be in the drafts. Yeah, there it is. Let's click it. All right, I think we're good. Comment hot if you want access to this private AI tool for free. I think that's pretty good. No audio. Sometimes I feel like the audio, you don't put a good audio, the reel doesn't really get views. But if you do put a good audio, the reel does get views. So I don't know. Some of my most successful reels have absolutely no music, so I'm just gonna stick with that. All right, so yeah, we're about to go live in 3, 2, 1. We have posted, everyone. We have posted. It's uploading. So now what we're gonna have to do is while that uploads. Okay, it's up. Step 1, find any image on Google Images, copy the address. All right, we're good. So now what we're gonna be doing is going to ManyChat, which is a great tool to automate your replies to your Instagram comments or DMs. Click New Automation. Do start from scratch, and then we're gonna click new trigger, user commentary and post a reel, select the latest one, continue, hot, continue, we say check your DMs, send in the DMs, and then hit your DMs there. So that's done. Then we click. Now you actually send the reply. So we say, hey, what's up? To use this free tool, click the link down below. To use this private tool. And then we're just gonna pass in the link. Let's put the emoji. Yeah, and then we should be good. That's really all we need to do, right? Set this live, and our automation is live. So now let me go ahead and check our LinkedIn, see how the post was doing yesterday. I did reply to one comment earlier today. I thought it was kind of nice. So let's go right here. See, we have 2 comments. One, this guy said, now I'm curious how it look with blue. I commented, I just sent him a picture of the Coca-Cola in like a blue landscape 7 minutes ago, right? Just pretty fire if you ask me. And then our X post, it's not doing too hot. I'll be honest. X post has 68 views, but it does have 6 hearts. So it's, it's something. It's something, right? But hey, let's see what the rest of the day takes us. So let's check back near the middle to end of the day and see how many people are actually signed up. Congratulations, you are now ready to start your own AI business, app, SaaS, agency, whatever you want to do. So go ahead and do it. If you want to work with me one-on-one, check the link in the description below. You want to see how I built and scaled my AI app to over 500 users in just 1 week? Click here.